Hey everyone, Andrea with Waste Consultants here. Today we are going to talk about the 5 ways you're overpaying on dumpsters and how to stop. You're overspending on your dumpsters. How do we know? Because we've seen it over and over again with our clients. Of the hundreds we've worked with over the past 18 years, we estimate that over 60% of our clients have benefited from equipment changes. Prior to us coming on board, these companies were paying thousands of dollars for commercial waste equipment. They weren't being used efficiently. They didn't know, but they do now. They stopped overpaying, and you can too. You may need fewer dumpsters, compactor, more dumpsters, larger containers, or smaller containers. How will you know what your true needs are unless you get a waste audit? Let's take some time to dive into each of these categories. At the end of this presentation, you'll know a few ways you're likely overpaying for waste containers. So let's start with that first category. You need fewer dumpsters. So you may need fewer dumpsters or recycling containers at your locations. Are your dumpsters full each time they are serviced? Does your dumpster usage differ seasonally? Do you need every dumpster at every location? What you don't know is costing you. Your dumpsters aren't full when they're picked up. You're paying for wasted space. Stop paying for inefficient equipment levels. If your dumpsters have different usage rates based on tourist season, for instance, you need a contract that reflects that. Why pay for additional services that you can't use? We often remedy this situation by evaluating your unique location needs. First, we'll scour your invoice history. Do you have any overages? If so, how many? If you have none at all, that can be an indicator that your dumpsters are not being used at maximum capacity. A few of those overage charges here and there is actually a really good indicator of your usage. If you have a waste container that is charged by weights, we'll look at your tonnage history. If you consistently have low container rates, this means that either you need fewer containers or that you need fewer pickups. Our recommendations will take into account pricing from other market providers and your waste hauler contract specifications. We'll find the solutions that are right for you and what saves you the most money. You may need a waste compactor. There are many reasons you may need a compactor, but these are the top 2. Either you're a higher trash generator or you generate food waste. A waste compactor crushes garbage so that fewer pickups are necessary. The most frequently used size is 30 cubic yards. It requires an investment up front, but it can save quite a bit of money over time. We typically recommend compactors to clients who produce large amounts of waste and those who have space at their site. You may need more dumpsters. You need more dumpsters, but with fewer pickups. As contrary as it sounds, you may be in a situation where it's cheaper to pay for additional dumpsters and then have fewer pickups. Assuming your dumpsters are being emptied when they are completely full, adding more dumpsters can be a cheaper option than paying for more pickups. This solution depends on what your haulers charge for pickups, what your waste haulers charge for dumpster rentals. If you are facing a situation where you have increased usage at a particular site or multiple sites, schedule one of those 15-minute discovery calls with us today. You can't afford not to know what options are best for you and what money you can save. You need larger containers. Let's go over this option. On the other hand, you may have the opposite waste disposal problem. Instead of needing more dumpsters, you may just need larger ones. Suppose you have 3 6-yard waste dumpsters on your site location that are picked up 3 times a week. Our audit finds that these dumpsters are not used to capacity and that you could instead install 2 8-yard waste containers instead. The larger size will allow you to decrease service to once a week. The rent for the larger dumpsters will be more expensive, but you'll save more over time because you'll be paying for fewer pickups. Another option, you may need smaller waste containers. If your dumpsters are not full when serviced, you may need to downsize the containers. For each one of our audits, we get in touch with every site manager and go over waste and recycling details. We ask questions about current service levels and pickup frequency. We ask about the equipment they have on site. We ask these things to ensure we have accurate information. Hauler invoices sometimes say one thing, but the reality may be something completely different. So some of you may be asking, couldn't you just get fewer pickups instead of pulling a few dumpsters? The short answer, it depends. When we evaluate a location, we weigh the benefits of getting smaller containers versus keeping the current containers and instead having fewer pickups. We do the math. We figure out which solution is right for you and your locations. Let's talk about how smaller trash dumpsters can mean big savings. Suppose you have 4 8-yard dumpsters, but we find that they're only half full when they're picked up. So long as there are no seasonal usage issues to keep in mind, we would likely recommend that you remove 2 of those dumpsters. Why pay for what you're not using, right? You could keep the same pickup schedule, but you'd be paying significantly less. Solve your waste problems today. Let us evaluate your locations to see if you need fewer dumpsters or a compactor, more dumpsters, larger containers, or smaller containers. You won't pay us anything unless we find savings. Guys, you can use the link at the end of this video to schedule a completely free, zero obligation consult. We would love to talk to you about any questions you have and show you how we could help you save.